Hey guys, this is gonna be a good video and I am excited. Boy, am I ready to cook! Let's get into it. I'm gonna be talking about self-exposure and how it leaves your enemies defenseless. Stay tuned, I'm hyped up, enjoy. So how does this keep your enemies defenseless? It's actually pretty simple. In the rap battle between B Rabbit and Eminem, Eminem exposes his complete story out there for the world to hear. Because at the end of the day, not only is it a promotional aspect to show that he's genuine and he's honest and he wants to succeed in this area of his life of becoming a rapper, but it avoids the dirt talk that's going to happen later on. And if you realize in this scene, he does it first things first. When you do it first things first, they don't have to talk shit about you. They don't have to talk smack about you or throw dirt on your name because it's already been exposed. So why is it worth trying to talk it out or try to discuss in some type of way to come to a common agreement? It's already out there. You tried talking dirt about me and I exposed my whole career for what it is. Now, if people like me, cool. If people don't like me, cool. I'm not here to risk it for them. I'm here to risk it for my career as a rapper, as a mechanic, as an artist. You have to be willing to be ballsy and expose it for what it is. And that's what I like about this scene. Number 2 is vulnerability. Most people think hiding flaws protects them, but it actually makes them a target. When you try to hide the fact that you're bad at something, or you don't read a lot of books, or you maybe not be a good reader, when you hide from that, it's actually not beneficial for you because you can't improve in those areas when you hide them from yourself. But when you expose them, it does something to you psychologically. It puts it into your head that, hey, I'm not good in this area, so I should probably seek improvement in this area. And people don't like doing that. People don't like giving themselves that reality check because it's a lot more easier to say, oh, let me just throw it in the back trunk and just kind of forget about it. And whenever it comes up, we'll revisit it. But when you expose it and you're consistent about it, and you're working on it to become better, it makes you into a better person. That's why when people expose their flaws and they're confident of that flaw being a flaw, then you can't do anything to them. Because at the end of the day, they know where their mistakes are and they know where to correct it. So be it. 2 more talking points. When you bring your darkness into light, you remove the power of shame. So when you talk honestly about yourself and you look at other people around you, you start going into this comparison of saying, hey, I have this flaw and this person has this flaw too. It eliminates the shame factor. But if you keep it to yourself, it kind of hurts and it makes you start feeling depressed, anxiety, fearful, because you feel alone. But the reality of life is you have to expose these flaws. If you're addicted to smoking and drinking, expose it for what it is because you can most definitely fix it. And it brings light to the situation. It tells you that there's improvements to be made and perfection to be made. Whether if that's mastery or rather if that's just learning and going through the process of becoming better for yourself. When you bring your darkness into light, it tells other people that you're confident with your character. It tells other people that you're going to take on this journey of self-improvement. And it makes them happy. It makes them want to get closer to you and become your friend. And when you think about friendships and the fact of exposing your flaws, it gets you ahead in communities. It gets you ahead in opportunities in life. But all of that would have happened if you were to expose your flaws. But we're also cocky. We're also egotistical to kind of keep those flaws to ourselves and just keep on living in this fake skin that we have. So I motivate you today to expose your flaws, just like Eminem did in that rap battle. And you'll be one step closer to becoming a better you. And last but not least, to close this off, I don't want this to get too long. Exposure frees you from fear. So your fear might be, man, I just really wish I went to Japan. Or your fear might be, I just want to save $5,000, but I just don't make a lot of money. When you expose your worries, not only are you going to be willing to chase them, but the fear of that thought goes away almost immediately. Now, the devil will constantly try to haunt your thoughts with the fact that you can't achieve it. The self-doubt in your head that tells you, oh, that's a lot of money, or you can't do that, it's going to take too long. There's always going to be this self-doubt in your head telling you to keep your flaws to yourself. You don't want to do that. You don't want to keep these flaws to yourself. You want to expose them, like I was talking about darkness and the light. But this is specifically talking about fear. Fear is one of the things that attacks people every day. The fear of money, the fear of the right career, the fear of being on a date, the fear of having a wife one day or a husband. Fear is critically one of the worst things that you can ever have in your life. And in Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, it talks about fear being the number one thing that the devil uses to work in humans today so that he can bring them closer to the devil. Because the devil thinks about it as idling, fearful, and many, many of other things. But today we're talking about fear. And you have to be in check with yourself. And when people try to point out every single flaw about you, you want to be the first person that takes action and never stops. In this life, confidence isn't pretending to be perfect, it's accepting your imperfections. You just want to accept them for what they are. This is a process of investigating yourself, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And this can take months and even years of just breaking down yourself and seeing what is working for you and what isn't. But keeping those to yourself isn't beneficial. Exposing them and being confident on exposing them is what's going to get you ahead. And I'll close off with this. Your flaws in your life are stories you can tell to people. So be proud to expose them when people ask you. In the Bible, these are explained as testimonies. In life, these are life lessons or experiences. And you don't have to be shameful of that. You can be proudly be willing to share them because you may not know whose heart you might touch one day. And they're going to come back to you and tell you, hey, thank you for that time you told me about your addiction to smoking, because now I'm quitting smoking and I've been clean for 5 years. So I appreciate you. Those words are going to set a fire in your heart to keep on moving forward and to keep on being encouraged. But you can't do that if you keep on guarding your pain and you're keeping it to yourself. Expose them for what they are, just like Eminem did in that final scene from 8 Mile. And you'll get ahead and you'll find the motivation that you need through your flaws to tell the story and then eventually become great. And then they'll look at you for those flaws and the story that builds up little by little to that success story. So don't be ashamed of it. That's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This was kind of like spur of the moment. But I hope you guys found a lot of value in this video. I was just super excited. I was like, I have to get this video out because this is just fantastic and it's amazing when you see the scene. You're like, he really exposed himself. But what does it truly mean? And that's why I wanted to drop this video. I love you guys. You already know. God loves you too. Drop a comment below of what you thought about this little lesson. Feels cool? Did it suck? Let me know below. Peace out.